right, Susie, I have my 2 horses.
Yes, and I've got chai tea here.
You're ready to go. I'm ready to get these horses saddled. The barn's all cleaned and we're ready to get them going.
And you know what, Ed? I think it's so important that we keep getting better with our horses.
Exactly. As a matter of fact, and that's what's great about this program. Hello, everyone. I'm Ed Adams.
And I'm Susie DeRushi.
And welcome to Better Horses.
In this segment, our international trainer, Dan James, is going to show us liberty training on a ridden horse.
And we're coming from the Australian trainer all the way to our Arizona trainer. Professional world classman Al Dunning is going to show us the proper way to do a turnaround on your horse.
As promised, we are excited to talk to Craig Cameron, where he deep dives into the conformation of a horse.
All right, Susie, we're not done yet.
Where are we going?
All right, we're heading down to the Purina Barn Tours, where NFR team roping champion Ryan Moll is going to walk us through his barn.
And he's going to show us that he feeds Purina to his world champion rope horses.
So that sounds like a great show. So if you love horses or even thinking about getting into horses, this is the program for you. And it's the only horse show on your local broadcast television station.
And now airing every Monday on RFC TV. So before you go saddle up, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
We'll be right back.
In a natural, free roaming situation, horses graze nearly constantly throughout the day and night. When feeding horses in stables, it's ideal to try to mimic this feeding behavior. Horses in stabled conditions should be fed their hay so they can pick at it continuously between feedings. Visit our website at stanleyforage.com under Nutrition, then Nutritional Resources to help transition your horse from winter to spring in the coming weeks.
The other day I went out to feed my mare, and when I got out to her pen, I realized she wasn't there. So I looked down to the bottom, and she wasn't there either. So I looked out in the pasture, and she wasn't there either. So I knew it was time to go get another horse, saddle him up, and go out to find that mare that got herself lost. You know, there's a story in the Gospel of Luke about Jesus. One time he was traveling with his parents, and after 3 days, Mary went to Joseph, asked him, "Where's Jesus?" And Joseph said, "Well, I thought he was with you." Mom and Dad lost the Son of God. Can you imagine that? Well, they went back to Jerusalem to find him. They found him in the temple. They asked him what he thought he was doing, and he said, "Why are you looking for me? I'm about my Father's business." What a great lesson for all of us, to be about the Father's business, to be about sharing the gospel of Jesus Christ with all those that we can come into contact with. I don't mean we beat them over the head with the Bible, but the Bible says, "I'm not ashamed of the gospel," Romans 1:16. So I'm just saying to us, friends, never be ashamed to tell someone about Jesus. And it's our prayer here today at Better Horses that we have that opportunity, that God will bring people in our lives that we can tell about Jesus and give us the power and the courage and the boldness to do so. Hey, this is Steve Stafford. I'm the pastor at Risen Ranch Cowboy Church in Carthage, Missouri, and a very proud member of the Better Horses family.
G'day guys, Dan James here from Double Down Horsemanship, and here today we're with Patrick Sullivan, and we're going to get to show you guys our third segment on working the horse from the ridden horse. So this is going to be a next advancement. You're going to see Patrick's going to be riding bareback and bridleless. You're going to see that these two horses have only been together a short amount of time. One of them is a off-the-track thoroughbred that belonged to my wife Elizabeth, that she competed on at the Thoroughbred Makeover, and the other little mare is Patrick's own personal mare, who's an Arabian. So talk about a difference of two horses coming together. Patrick's done an amazing job of putting these horses together, working them at Liberty. Let's have a look. All right, so just like we started out with our young horse in the round pen, keeping them between the wall and our ridden horse, the same thing here is happening here with Patrick. Obviously just in a larger area, which the degree of difficulty becomes a lot higher. You'll come through the center here and do a change of direction. And you can see how that these horses are rating one another, you know, pretty well as they're going through here. You'll see that, you know, as he changes direction, that these horses sort of make small adjustments in order to be able to help keep themselves alongside one another. Change of speed. Obviously this again becomes increases the degree of difficulty in this, in having the two horses work together alongside one another. And what's really nice here, you can just see the way that Gammy which is the little Arabian mare, just rated right back to as soon as Patrick started to come down to a downward transition there all the way to the stop and then to the backup, that she came back and she just fed off the other horse there in that he was asking of them to both do. You'll see here the whip came up and over, step forward for the heel. So if what you're seeing here isn't making a whole lot of sense, this is where it would be great for you guys to be able to go back and watch what happened in that other segment with working the young horse off the ridden horse in those early stages. Good, here we're sending the horse around. You can see that he's staying there in the center. Gammy is working around him. Here he's going to change horses and demonstrate working now Aussie from his little mare. Okay, so here we go. So Patrick is now on his mare Gammy, and he's now going to be working Aussie from the ridden horse. So it's changed positions here. It's kind of, you know, this is what it's all about, helping to have good balanced horses in doing this job at Liberty, is being able to do vice versa here. Patrick's going to go ahead, and you can see him here starting to set up to send Aussie out and around. That whip there is sort of just inside that shoulder there, and he'll be setting up here looking for a change of direction, just like we've seen earlier. There's a nice change of direction. And drop the whip back. Good, that was nice. It was nice, it was just the way that he flowed, like both horse and him sort of flowed through that movement there. He's following the Liberty horse with the whip, asking him to come back to that shoulder, all the way back to that original start position.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back right after these messages.
Hi, I'm Donna. This is Ringo. We're with CSI Saddle Pads. I'd like to invite you to ride our new revolutionary Flex Plate saddle pad. We offer a 30-day money-back, ride it, get it dirty guarantee. And the best part of the pad is it's 100% American made with American parts by American hands.
I've been using CSI pads for 16 years, and there's a reason behind that. It is a total performance system for me. I just can't say enough about them.
For more information, go to csipads.com.
What do you get when you bring together one of the biggest names in veterinary medicine with one of the most caring and committed teams of horse health experts in the industry? You get a vaccine portfolio known for its quality and safety, a pharmaceutical line you can rely on to help manage pain and support performance. You get the products, programs, and people of Merck Animal Health.
It's time to go with United Mosquito and Fly Control's premier fly system for fly control in your barn, providing relief for horses from the stress of fighting flies, and also makes the barn more pleasant for everyone in the barn. Easy, effective, and safe. With United Mosquito and Fly Control, we provide a full service. You as the barn owner don't have to do anything. We go everywhere and take care of everything with our friendly fast service. Call today at 913-558-3814 or email Paul at unitedmosquito.com.
Hi, I'm Al Dunning for Better Horses TV. You know, today I'm going to talk about the turnaround a little bit. You know, everybody's horse is better trained if they can turn right and left equally. That's one of my 5 basics for sure. You know, when I start my horses in the turn, the first thing I want them to do is follow their head. Meaning when I can walk a circle like this, and I'm riding in a snaffle, martingale, I've got a stretchy cavesson on, and I've worked on this horse quite a bit, so he kind of understands what I'm trying to teach him. If my horse is too stiff right here, I use my inside leg and my inside rein, teaching the horse to bend around and get a good inside arc. What I want is I want a good cup on this inside when I turn, so the horse can actually follow their head around. Going in the opposite direction, I reach down the rein, I take the slack out, I start to walk them around, I ride with both legs. If I feel that they're not bending enough, I use my inside leg and push that hip around. Okay? After I have the horse bending well, my next step is to walk a circle and make them follow their head. So I'll follow his head right around like this. Then, after he does that proficiently, I'll trot a small circle. And what I'm trying to feel is I don't want a lot of bow out, like have his rear end fly out like this. I don't want that to happen with that rear end flying out. I want that body to stay in line and his head to stay on the line, his shoulder to stay on the line, and his hip to stay on the line of this circle, just like this. If my horse seems tight in the face or difficult, I do a back around. So I'll back around in a circle like this, teaching my horse to back around, staying on his rear end when he backs. Once I have that and I feel comfortable that I can walk forward, stop, and back up with the horse giving his jaw like that, then I'm ready to turn. I start the turn with the inside rein and I pull it straight back, like right here. Not out here to the side. I don't want this foot to come out here. I want this foot to come back under him like this. So I pull that rein straight back to my hip. Then I'll take my outside rein and touch him on the neck. And I'll take my outside leg and use it as the driver. Like that. So I'll go over that again for you real quick. It takes a while to get this done, but if you can get the first things I taught you, the round circle, the giving of the jaw, the stop and back, all those things like that, you'll be ready to turn your horse around. I call this my 1, 2, 3 drill. 1, reach down and get the inside rein, pull it straight to my hip so I can see the horse's inside eye. Number 2, take the outside rein, rub it against the neck. Number 3, cluck or use my outside leg in the turnaround. Many times when I'm starting the turnaround, I do half turns on the fence before I start making the full turns. But I always am thinking, get the maximum.
Today what I thought I'd talk about was a little bit about conformation. Right here we go into the pole in the throat latch area. This horse is a little thick in the throat latch here because if they're kind of small or narrow in the throat latch, guess what? It's going to be easier for them to break or soften in the pole right there. So he's a little thick in the throat latch here. So again, look at his neck. I don't like a big cresty neck or anything like that. Just want it to be nice and tie in real smoothly to the shoulders and to the withers here. You know, we talk about the slant or the slope of that shoulder. This horse, if you go to the point of the shoulder to the point of the withers, he's got a pretty good slope. And what that gives you, again, we're talking about angles now. See, when you look at that slope, I kind of want the same angle here as I'm going to end up getting in the pastern right there. So again, with that, if you have a real just steep up and down shoulder, sometimes their trot or even their canter can be kind of rough. So we like that sloping shoulder where it's going to really be kind of a nice smooth angle here. You know, some people say that this distance here, we're talking about balance now, the distance, pick his head up just a little bit for me, a little more, pick it up. So it's like from about here to the point of that wither should be maybe pretty close to the same from the here to the middle or the point of the shoulder. That gives it balance. Some people say the same should be the same distance here from the peak of the withers there to the peak of the loin right there. And I'm going to get him to stand up a little bit here so you can see that those are distances are pretty the same, and we're talking about balance with the horse. Richard Schreck was always the best on knowing those different angles and stuff like that. So as I go down here, I want this horse to be straight-legged. I don't want him to be cow hock, sickle hock, bench kneed, where he goes backwards here. So I want nice and straight, and I like good bone here, but a short cannon bone. And one of the reasons we want a short cannon bone, when it's shorter usually, then it's going to be stronger. If it's real long and kind of fragile, more apt that he could hurt or break that leg or something right there. So that short cannon bone right here, that flat knee. If you came to the front here, I want to come to the front of the horse now and look at him. I want to look at his chest. Here, this becomes really important here. I don't want to have it where his legs look like they come out of the same hole here. So I want some muscling and some definition in his chest. You can kind of see that. He's got some pretty good distance. He's got a nice, look how straight his legs are right here. Really nice. And again, that good flat knee, the short cannon bone. And look how good his feet are. Now this horse is good footed, really black feet, boy, just strong as flint right there. That's something I like to look at as well. Doesn't mean a horse with white feet, a lot of times a white foot or white hoof can be more shelly, and again, that's going to make for that smoothness in that trot. And again, if I was really doing this right, I'd watch the horse really move, the way he placed his feet. Did he have a flat knee action? Did he keep his feet close to the ground? Did he naturally pick up the correct lead? Well, there's a lot of things we could look at when we're talking about judging a horse in conformation.
Hey, don't touch that dial. We got more Better Horses TV right after this message from our sponsors.
No matter what discipline of riding you do, training, showing, and everyday stress is hard on your horse's legs. Decra Veterinary Products is a leading lameness company that brought you Osphos. Osphos is a clodronate injection, an intramuscular bisphosphonate to help control the clinical signs of navicular syndrome in horses 4 years and older. Ask your veterinarian if Osphos is right for your horse. Decra Veterinary Products is a proud sponsor of The American.
In a natural, free roaming situation, horses graze nearly constantly throughout the day and night. When feeding horses in stables, it's ideal to try to mimic this feeding behavior. Horses in stabled conditions should be fed their hay so they can pick at it continuously between feedings. Visit our website at stanleyforage.com under Nutrition, then Nutritional Resources to help transition your horse from winter to spring in the coming weeks.
When you're a barrel racer, there are so many things that can bother a horse. Just eliminating the back issues is a huge advantage. I feel like using a CSI Saddle Pad has given me an advantage over other girls because I know that my horse is feeling good, that saddle's not bothering him. If you're looking for a new saddle pad, invest in a CSI. It's worth the investment.
Craig Cameron here. Now I'm going to go here to the withers. The withers is kind of important, and it's one of the last things to really develop on the horse. You won't see a lot of colts with a big withers. I think nature made it that way, so it'd be easier to get out of that birth canal right there. So these withers here become really important because that's what's going to hold your saddle in place, or the withers. So this horse has a pretty good withers, and it's not bad at all. You can actually see it. That saddle's going to sit, the peak of the saddle, I like to sit right on the peak of the withers, and then back here, not interfering with his shoulders. But he has a fairly good withers to hold that saddle in place. Now this is the heart girth area here, and you want that pretty big here because that is where his heart and lung capacity is. So if he's real small here, he might not have a big heart and lung capacity. So in these quarter horses and performance and working horses, we like some size here in the heart girth here. Now we talk about the back here. The back, to me, I like to see a horse that soon as it goes down, it immediately goes kind of right back up. There's not a flat spot in here. Usually if it gets a flat spot in here, in other words, you see how this horse goes down and right back up, and it's kind of short from here to the loins. These are the loins here. So I want that kind of short, and when it goes down, it comes right back up. If you got that flat spot, then you're going to get a long back horse, and they can get sore back, eat a little easier, not be quite as strong a lot of times. So that short back horse, you know, the old timers always told me that there was no such thing as a horse with a back too short. So that's something you might kind of want to think about. So good withers, big in the heart girth right here, strong over his loins. You can see those muscles here, right there. You want that strong. And then this is the croup here. I like these horses with a nice smooth croup where, and again, they'd be the same height as that withers, boy, and you can really kind of see that there, how level that is. That's pretty nice right there. And so you would get back here going toward the hind end. Right here, this is the stifle. I like to be able to see these muscles a little bit. I want to see a little definition. Stifle, gaskin right here. And I want to see, if I look at him from the back, I like seeing that definition like this. So here's the stifle. And one way it's easy to remember, stifle starts with an S, gaskin starts with a G, and the G one is closer to the ground. That's how I kind of remember that. So I look for that stifle, I look for that definition, that gaskin, a low, nice low hock. See how it's a low hock, and then again, short gaskin right here, and a bend, a nice bend in that leg, not straight. You know, one thing don't forget is the tail set. So look how pretty this horse's tail sets in right there. It doesn't stick out. It's not too, some of them are up high and they stick out, you know. So again, this tail set's real pretty. Pretty good gaskin stifle. Low set hock, short cannon bone, good footed. And if you looked at this horse from the very back, again, this is the motor, the hind quarter. This is the engine of the horse. And so I don't want to see a lot of daylight going like up here, a big daylight. So I want those muscles to come together down here. And then from this position, again, look how straight my horse's legs are from the very back. Again, I don't want him cow-hocked or sickle-hocked and stuff like that. So he's nice and straight. Pretty good size to that hip right there where he's got some strength. So overall, this horse really has a pretty good look to him, pretty good balance. Overall, you know, pretty nice headed, and I'd say this was a fairly nice looking horse.
Hi, I'm Ryan Moats. Welcome to Weatherford, Texas, and this is my barn. Come on. This is Rockstar. Rockstar is the horse that I won the American on last year. He's the horse I rode at the NFR. He's probably the horse I've had the most success on recently. The horse I started my career on is a full brother to Rocky. This is Starbucks, and Starbucks is 22 now, and he's the horse that I rode at the NFR throughout my career, and he's the horse I've done most of my winning on. On the end down here, this is Goldie. Goldie is the oldest baby by our stud CD Lights, and everybody's seen her. She's been everywhere, but I've hauled her all over the place, and she's been good. She's been kind of a backup to Starbucks and Rocky throughout the whole time. I'll show you a little bit about what I feed and why I feed. I feed alfalfa hay to everything, and so with the alfalfa, Starbucks and Rocky both being a little older, I feed those both senior, and I really like the senior. What I like about it is when I'm hauling and traveling is that I can keep quite a bit of weight on them whenever I'm hauling and traveling, and the fat keeps them nice and fat and full. Most of my horses around here now, I've fed Strategy forever, but I switched to the Strategy Healthy Edge. It's got the Outlast in it, which I think really does help with the coat. I think it helps with the gastric support, and I really do think it's my favorite feed Purina's got right now. So we've got her on the Healthy Edge. The other two old guys here, they're on the Purina Equine Seniors, and that's been great. It's been a great way. For Rocky, last year when we were headed to the Northwest, he got a case of pneumonia, and he spent quite a bit of time. We got him out just in time for the NFR. And for him, spending some time at the vet clinic and everything else, it was good because he was able to, he didn't really want to eat whenever throughout his sickness. And so he was able to eat senior 4 or 5 times a day, and that'll really help maintain a lot of his weight and kind of help put some weight back on him. So my wife Courtney and I, here at our place, we've probably got about 20 horses, from brood mares all the way down to babies and everything else. And up at the ranch, we train cutting horses, and so we probably got about 100 head from outside horses to horses raised right here at the ranch. The majority of mine and Courtney's, they're all on the healthy edge, and we have everything here at the place on some form of Purina. The equine senior for the older horses, the strategy healthy edge for all the horses in training, the cattle cubes and the licks for all of our roping stock, and then with this spring coming on, we're going to put a lot of horses on this enriched that we're just trying to maintain, give them the vitamins and nutrients they need that maybe don't need quite a bit of the fat that's in the senior. And so that's pretty much it. Thanks y'all for coming on my barn tour.
Closed captioning has been brought to you by Lina Weaver
and Flat Tail Ranch.
John Deere is known for quality equipment. This quality has created a perception that John Deere is more expensive than other brands. But high quality doesn't mean high priced. The truth from buyers in our area is customers who have purchased a John Deere compact utility tractor saved more than $2,000. Dare to compare us before buying. You and your wallet will be surprised. Nothing runs as long as a Deere, and we'll prove it with our exclusive 10-year warranty. Visit heritagetractor.com/compare to learn more.
It's time to go with United Mosquito and Fly Control's premier fly system for fly control in your barn, providing relief for horses from the stress of fighting flies, and also makes a barn more pleasant for everyone in the barn. Easy, effective, and safe. With United Mosquito and Fly Control, we provide a full service. You as the barn owner don't have to do anything. We go everywhere and take care of everything with our friendly fast service. Call today at 913-558-3814 or email Paul at unitedmosquito.com.
How's your production on pasture? Are profits down? Are weight gains down? What are you going to do about it? Do something cost-effective. Do something that will make a difference. To add the first and proven leader in feed-through horn fly control to your cattle rations, ask for it by name, Alticid IGR.
Hey, thank you for watching Better Horses. If you've missed any of our episodes, you can check us out at betterhorses.com, where you can see all our shows.
You can also find us on Facebook or listen to any of our podcasts right from your mobile device.
And don't forget our newspaper coming out 5 times a year, also on the same website.
You're gonna love it.